Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a Sunday sales video. I have not done a Sunday live stream in absolutely ages, and I just thought, why not? I've been putting off doing like a sales video for so long. Not putting off, but I just keep on not doing it. So I thought, if I just get on and do a live stream, I can just rattle through a few sales and get a sales video updated, because I've not, like I said, we've not actually put a sales video up on this channel for quite a while now. I think we're approaching maybe like well over a month. So you know, I'm pretty excited to share some sales with you, because haven't done it for a while. So thank you for everyone that's popped in to join us. I can see that we have already got Peter Ray. Thanks, Peter. Dave Rowland has joined us as well, and so is Ryan, doing it yourself lifestyle. Regular guys, love seeing you guys in the chat. It's fantastic. I've also oh wow, Fake Rachel's joined us as well. And Callum, Power Reselling, Kerry, John, Bobby Billington as well, Jay Dennis, Lucy, so welcome, Mir Cameron Ali, Curly, Steve Green, Powell, and Darren has joined us as well. So welcome everyone that's in the chat. Thank you for joining us. YouTube are meant to be doing this thing where they allow you to replay the chat when you replay the video, but I don't think it has happened, so I'm just gonna kind of pretend that it's not gonna happen. So I'm not gonna like just say lots of hellos, even though I'd love to actually just chat to the chat, because it's a lot of fun. But yeah, so guys, this is gonna be a sales video, and it's gonna be like top 20-ish sales or more memorable sales from February. Now, part of the reason I've been putting off doing sales reports is because a lot of the stuff we're selling is very samey, and I just always get kind of a bit like, oh my god, you know, no one's going to really want to see this, etc. And I've been putting off doing them. So I thought the best way around it is to just choose like the top 20 odd that I like, or that were slightly more interesting than the others, and do it in a live format. So I think it makes it more interesting, you know, with you guys. I see Bex joined in as well. Yeah, she's upstairs at the moment doing her stuff for her channel. Yeah, by the way, guys, Beck's been doing a lot of videos on her own channel. If you click on her name, like click on the 3 dots by Rebecca's name and go and subscribe to her channel, she'll be really chuffed. She won't like me saying that either, so that's why I've done it, just to embarrass her a bit. So the sofa was, I didn't have to sleep on the sofa, George, so thank you for asking, but I didn't have to sleep on the sofa, which is brilliant. And John says, I love that Bex is upstairs. Yeah, well, she needs time away sometimes, and I need, you know, this is my space as well. So anyway, I'm not getting into that. Oh wow, bring him a hairbrush, says Dave. Okay, right. I'm going to start the screen share. Thank you everyone that's joined, by the way. Quite a lot of people popped in. Alrighty then, let's just get straight into the shares. I'll tell you guys what we paid for something pretty much and what we sold it for. And I'll apologize now if the rain is super intrusive, because it is making quite a noise on the conservatory ceiling. But it's typical that, you know, it would happen now, right, while I'm starting to make a video. Right, Crispy says, I was packing and just stopped for caffeine and this popped up. Fantastic. Question, where are the snow RC vids, says Ryan. We didn't get a lot of snow here. People around us got a lot of snow. But anyway, here we go. First item I want to share with you guys. Oh, that was the wrong thing. But okay, this is the Talking Baby Sinclair. We sold this in February. Some of you may have already seen this, but this was sold in February, so I'm sharing it. This was a £20 pickup from the car boot, which took a few weeks to sell, but we got £60 plus shipping for it. There you can see the photos. A bit grubby, but did the job, so I thought I'd just do that. Treasure Hunting Oz says, good day from down under, first time watching live. Well, welcome. So that's fantastic. So yeah, I'm gonna just quickly zip through that one because I know that one's been shown before. Some of these will have been seen before if we've mentioned them during the Friday chats, but still. Power Reselling says that's a pretty cool sale. Yeah, they are really cool. He talks. He's got a pull string on the back, and £60 plus shipping was a good result. He went abroad, so which was pretty cool. The next item I'm going to show you guys. This was a Sparks S3311 Ford Fiesta World Rally Championship, like Monte Carlo Rally die-cast car. As you can see, we've sold 5 in total here. And the reason why I wanted to share this sale was because it was this was something I thought would sell really well, because Spark is a very good brand of die cast, very good quality models, very good quality die cast models. As you can see, like from the close-ups there, a lot of detail, really nicely put together, like the little antennas and whatnot, and they come on like a nice plinth as well. So really decent models, but they were sitting around a lot longer than some of the other ones, and some guy sent me what I think was a kind of a low offer, and I most certainly would not have accepted it for one. I was only asking like 20 quid each, which, you know, isn't bad, you know, which I think is cheap enough. Reselling UK with Luke says, what's the scale? I believe I've got the scale here, 1/43 reselling with Luke. These are 1/43 scale. Yeah, so you know, I thought these would have sold a lot quicker, a lot better, but they didn't. And even at £20, they didn't. But the reason why I'm sharing this is because some guy, I think he's probably a reseller, he bought all 5 off me, but he paid only 75 quid, which I think is pretty cheap, you know, for them. So he only paid £15 each. So £15 each is a bit of a good price for these, I think. So he was happy that he got them for £15 each, and to be honest with you, I was happy to sell 5 of them in one go, and it cleared them out, and I was happy because these are all profit for me. So that was fine. Power Reselling says, thanks to Yuzi, I've started paying a lot more attention to RC cars. Fantastic. Right. My ponder's been frozen over for 3 days, says Darren. Yeah, very cold. Reselling with Luke says, I would have bought that at £20. It's a shame. It's a shame you didn't, because this guy got all of them for 15 quid. Adrian has joined us. Mr. Diggs Deals. Greetings, Mr. Dig. Yeah, so yeah, he got them cheap, but it was all 5 of them, so I was like, okay, screw it, yeah, you can have them. The next sale, now this is quite a good sale. These are Trofu Triumph TR7 cars, again die-cast models, again 1/43 scale, kind of like retro, you know, cars. They've got the Leyland branding on them, quite nice. TR7 Triumph there, really cool actually, and you can see there that that's the tag on the bottom. Now these originally would have come with a sleeve around the like plastic box that you can see there, like the display box. They would have actually had a display sleeve, so bear that in mind. However, all the ones I had didn't have a sleeve, which is not a big deal, but you know, still, if you'd bought it new, it would have had a sleeve, and it didn't. And I think collectors do sometimes care about stuff like that. So when I found out that it did, I did mention it, and I did actually sell these all as used, ex-shop stock. Displays missing, and you can see we had 6. Now the cool thing is we actually sold 3 of these in one go. And those sold for 43.32 plus shipping to, I think it was Germany. So that was a pretty nice sale. Again, it's nice when things go in bulk. Now I don't know whether people are buying these just for like display or whatever. So pretty cool. Right. Greetings, Mr. A. Cold-blooded like the girl's dad, says Ryan. Jay Dennis says that's a TR8 if a rally one. Okay. Sunday night offer look weekend over here. So cool to be chilling and watching Z, says treasure hunting. Fantastic. Beautiful car, says Reselling with Luke. Yeah, really nice. Did not rally the TR7, only the TR8. Ah, okay. Well, that's a big mistake then, because they're saying it's a TR7. Look, they're saying it's a TR7, which is a bit of a mistake on their behalf. Then you can see there on the bonnet it says TR7, so they must have made a mistake. So anyway, that is that is a cool sale, because 3 of them went in one go, and they went for 43.32 plus shipping, and it was to Europe. So I was really pleased to sell that as well. Moving on, this is really cool. I came across a big job lot of DCC tapes. Now, I've always mentioned that whenever you're out and about, guys, pre-recorded defunct formats can pick up good money. Now, if you're lucky enough to find pre-recorded mini discs, so what I mean by that is albums that are on old formats. Obviously the exception is audio cassette, because it's sold in such massive volumes that only certain audio cassettes are going to be worth a great deal of money. And it was that was the winning format, audio cassette, for many years. However, along the way, obviously we've had mini disc, and we've had this as well, which is DCC, which stands for digital compact cassette. Now, if you find a DCC tape, especially sealed, they can fetch really good money. I've sold DCC tapes for £60 plus for one album that on CD or on audio cassette would be worthless, but because it was on this format, DCC, went for good money. Now, I did not get 44.78. I was offered £25 for this, but the gentleman that bought this also paid £18 in shipping, because it went to Argentina. So I was really pleased to sell this. Originally I had it up at 44.78, which is quite a high price. So I thought, like, you know what, £25. I've had these for a while. I've got quite a few different albums, and this one is called Extreme 2 Porno Graffiti. I've never heard of it. I don't know what the music's like. Very odd, but £25 plus £18 shipping. So really pleased. So if you're out and about, look out for formats like this. The other thing I'm doing pretty well with is, when I say pretty well, don't expect these things to sell like hotcakes. They're niche, so they will take their time. But the good news is they don't take up a lot of space when it comes to storage, because they're quite small. So I'm doing well with these, and I'm also doing well with Video 8. Now, Video 8 is normally considered just a camcorder tape, but they did release pre-recorded movies on Video 8 tapes. So if you can find those as well, those can do quite good too. Righty then. Minidisc Cell used to work for Sony, and they sent me just about every one as it was released. I gave them away, says Jay Dennis. Oh, definitely, that's painful, because they do fetch good money, some mini discs, definitely. Dan O says, hello from Melbourne, Australia. So excited to see you live for once. Love the sales roundups. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you for joining, Dan. Really appreciate it. Means an awful lot. Right. Now, let me just move on to the next item. Okay. It had to happen. There's going to be RC in this haul, guys. I'm sorry if I've bored you to tears with RC, but it's what I've got a lot of, guys. Now this is an ECX Barrage 19 to 110, 19.5 or 1/10 scale, really. Scale 4-wheel drive scalar crawler. What does that mean? Okay, now people that play with or are into the RC hobby, not play with, have different interests, right? So when you've got RC, Ryan says we love RC. I'm glad you love RC, Ryan, because there's always plenty of it. Now, people that are into RC are into different things, right? So you're going to have people that are speed freaks, so they will they're into the racing scene, they're really into racing, and you'll find they'll specialize either in indoor racing in 1/12 scale, or they'll be into like oval racing in like the smaller scales, indoor racing, or there'll be outdoor racers who will race 1/8 scale buggies, 1/5 scale cars, bigger cars. and they're into racing, and it's all about speed for them. And then you've got people that just like to bash. Now, what does bash mean? If you're bashing, it means in RC terms, you just like to take your RC car out and about and give it a bashing. The RC car, that is, right? Nothing else. So, you know, you're going to go to a park, or you're going to go to find some like ground, and you're going to take your RC car and you're going to take them out and really, you know, give them a good beating, as it were, so that you might be jumping, doing jumps, you know, smashing into things. And for that, you'll use maybe like monster trucks and things like that. And then there's another section of RC fans that love what's called scale crawling. Now, scale crawling is a lot of people saying nothing wrong with a bit of RC in the morning. That says from Mr. Diggs. So what kind of RC freak are you? Asked Dave. Bashing has several meanings. I'm aware of that, Dave, hence why I smirked probably when I said about that hobby, but it is known as bashing, which is quite funny, but yes, it is known as bashing. Now, scale crawling is what this car is. Now, what this means is this thing isn't fast at all, but it's designed to give you a lot of torque, a lot of grip, and it's designed with a really wide moving suspension and a high base, like a high kind of ground clearance. And the idea is it's like good for crawling, like rock crawling or rough terrain. So what people do with these is they go on to competitions where they'll have all kinds of obstacles. So and these trucks are good at climbing over things and crawling over rocks and getting across crevices and, you know, all awkward situations. So that's what these this kind of a vehicle is for. So as you can see, this so Darren asks, so you go to the woods and give it a good bashing, Z? Darren, yes, that's exactly what I like to do. I like to go into the woods with my big 1/8 scale and bash it until it breaks. And that is the RC hobby in a nutshell. Thank you for that question there, Darren. I'm sure you meant nothing else by it. Right. So this is the ECX Barrage Crawler. So not high speed at all. They're designed for crawling, and you can see it's designed like a Jeep, that's kind of thing. It's actually quite cool, this one, because it had headlights as well, which is cool, and brake lights, you know. And this is the chassis, so you can see it's very narrow. You know, suspension has a lot of travel. There's a photo of the receiver and the ESC. The ESC, that is important. So when you're looking at an RC car, an electric one, you're going to look out for certain things. You're going to need to make sure it's got a motor. You're going to need to make sure it's got an electronic speed controller, or ESC, and you're going to need to make sure it's got a receiver, which is this box here, which is what receives the signals and you connect your bits up to. So you can see everything's there, the battery, the servo. Here's the transmitter. There's the servo that I put into it. So I took a photo of the servo as well. You can see the model number there that I used. And now I actually accepted £105 plus shipping for this car, so I didn't get the 135. You can see I actually had it originally up at 150, which I think was a little bit steep. Had it on a sale at 135, and in the end I was happy to take 105. So that was a good sale for me. Curly Close says I bashed my own car. Morning here says Adam 3D Framer. Morning says Lisa's in the chat as well. Fantastic. Hope no one has joined late with Z on about bashing, says Mr. Diggs. There's also RC paper bangers. That's right, Chris, that's right. Bangers are a big thing. Right. What happens if other people go there? Do you all bash it together? Well, normally if people meet for a bash, they will generally bring their own RC to bash, so everyone stands around bashing their own. God, I'm asking for this, aren't I, really? Okay, I'm gonna just move on. Mr. Dick says, you just wait, Z, I'll be talking to Nick about your bashing. I'm sure. moving on, another diecast model sale. So this is a mini champ. So mini champ is the money in RC is great, says Curly Chloe. Definitely, it's very good money in RC, guys. Yeah, Mini Champs is a really good brand to look out for when it comes to die-cast cars. Die-cast cars, Ryan says, don't your signals ever get mixed up? Well, that's the beauty of a 2.4 gigahertz control system. It's not like the old days of 27 megahertz with the long antennas. You don't often get crossed wires. Anyway, so this is the Mini Champs die-cast car. I'll show you this one in detail. I've shared this in a video as well in the live chat with Beck. So this was quite a nice little car. This sold for $29.99, so I was very pleased with that sale, and that was plus shipping, I'm pretty sure, as well, because I think it went abroad. And moving swiftly on, Dave Rowland says 27 megahertz CB times. Yep, 27 megahertz back in the day. Right. Is it all in the wrist action? Asked Jay Dennis. I don't know what you mean by that. Okay, this sale, this is an RC part. Now this is quite interesting. This is a Thunder Tiger 2-speed gear bag. So this is for you know, the main transmission, like the center transmission of a radio controlled car. Sometimes what will happen is if there's like a jam somewhere in the transmission, you know, something gets stuck, or it could be a stone, could be anything, or just too much power goes through the drivetrain. The gears that are in the transmission, especially when they're made of plastic, are prone to you know, the teeth getting damaged. So the teeth and the gears get damaged, and if that happens, then the car loses power. Now, Zahir, you always have to lower the tone of the conversation, don't you? Says Lisa. I was merely talking about the legitimate hobby of bashing in RC, that is. So that's it. Carla has joined the chat as well. Hi, Carla. So yeah, so that is a 2-speed gear bag. Rebecca's not helping the chat with no, I leave the bashing to... Okay, so this is a 2-speed gear bag. Like I said, it would be there for the center transmission. Z stole your live stream time, Carla, says Peter Ray. I hope I didn't, Carla. If I did, I'm bad. I apologize. But you know, it's the internet. I'm sure Carla will be fine. I noticed, Peter, says Carl. Oh no, I feel so shy. I didn't realise. I'll be getting off this soon anyway, so I won't be encroaching for too long. Right. But that is the 2-speed gear bag. Now the reason why I'm sharing this is I'm selling them for £10, which in its way is insane. It's a small plastic, you know, gear, a couple of plastic gears in a small bag, goes in a large letter, and I'm really happy. Now the reason why I'm sharing this though is because someone bought 3 of these off of me at full price, so $29.97. I do offer free shipping on these, but I think this person who bought 3 is buying them abroad. So Carla says you're okay, Zahir. I wasn't streaming today anyway. Oh, thank God. I don't feel so bad now. Thank you for telling me that, Carla. I'd feel terrible for doing that. Okay, so yeah, those 3 went for $29.97, which was amazing. And you can see in total I've actually sold 4, and there's still 1 available. So if anyone out there needs a 2-speed gear bag, you know where to come, and it's only £10 with free shipping, guys. So that's that. Moving on. Oh gosh, this chat is just, it's, you know, guys, it's only 11:20 AM, so I'm not going to talk. When you keep an eye for the policeman? Oh gosh. All right. Right. This is the Dragon CZ2F rocket, 1/400 scale rocket. I bought a bunch of these rockets. We bought, I don't know how many we bought. I think we've got a cupboard full still of different rockets. We've sold quite a few, but these have been selling slowly but steadily, as it were. So I'm happy with how they're selling. As you can see, we've sold 6 of this particular one. There's only 2 left, and I do offer these in the UK for £29.99 with free shipping. But this one went abroad. I think it was during a sale, so it went for like £24.78 or something along those lines. So you can see these are quite small models, really nice boxed. There you can see what it is. There's nothing much to it. I just took a few photos of the packaging and left it at that. So I didn't want to take it out of the box because they're quite delicate, and you know, I don't want to really be messing around. So that sold, so I was pretty pleased with that sale. Okay, here's another RC part, guys. This is fantastic. This is a fantastic sale. This is a racing part from, so again, for a Thunder Tiger car. But just like with anything, certain parts are more valuable than others because of rarity, etc. Now this is a set of rear hubs for a certain model. Now they're made out of aluminium or aluminum. So you can see they're made out of aluminum. Question in the chat. From Daisy May, were the rockets part of your haul or separated? Daisy, they actually came as part of the original haul. We bought RC and we bought a bunch of model stuff. So we actually bought 2 types of things. It was all in one big haul though. So it was a lot of RC stuff and a lot of model stuff. So yeah, that came as part of the model stuff, but it was all bought together when we went down south. But yeah, so you can see all this is a small packet, and it's rear hubs. So these are basically go to the back wheels. The drive shaft comes out through these basically, and they're made out of aluminium. They're like solid. They're racing parts, and as such, I got $24.99 for those, which is really good. So I'm very pleased with that sale. Question: what year were the Thunder Tiger parts from us, Darren? It really varies, Darren. You know, most of these are going to be, I don't know, they're going to be within the last 20 years. A lot more recent actually. Some of them are going to be like, you know, 2010 plus. A lot of them are going to be like 2010 plus actually. I mean, I don't know if there's actually a year on this anywhere. I don't think there is, but the fact that they've got a website there, made in Taiwan, yeah, they're going to be, you know, 2010 plus. Question: have you kept any parts for yourself? Asked Ryan. No, because I don't. I've only got one Thunder Tiger RC actually. I've got one Thunder Tiger RC car, so you know, I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, I've only got one Thunder Tiger RC car, so I have not really kept any parts aside for myself. Mr. Diggs says I'm getting flustered. Isaac coming across and making red cheeks. Okay, so pretty good sell there. Something different, guys. Something different, which I'm pretty pleased about. This Finn Fashion Plus Phoebe has joined as well. Hi everyone, Phoebe here. Sorry I'm late, busy picking orders. No need to be sorry, Phoebe. I'm glad to have you in the chat. There's never any need to be sorry. This is something different. These are some press release photos that I bought well over a year ago from auction. And they've been selling, not steadily, very rare. I think the good ones sold pretty quickly, and then the less popular ones have sat around, but they do sell now and then. And because they're photographs, I don't mind them just sitting around. So it was like, you know, just happy to have it, you know, just like sit around and sell. Now I sold 3 of these photos. Darren says 1478 for epoxy photo. That's not true, Darren. I actually sold 3 of these for I wrote this down so I can keep an eye. I think it was like $31.50. So I actually took less money. I sold them for a tenner each, basically. So I sold these 3 photos here. So there's one photo here of this helicopter, and then there's a photo of this ship. As you can see, the ship has got some serious damage to it. And then there's this one here, which is a British United Airways Vickers like hovercraft. So yeah, these 3 photos, someone offered me a tenner each plus 150 shipping, so 31.50. And these are press release photographs, so something that's not RC, and it sold. So very, very happy with that sale as well. I should go into the chat for a second. Mr. Diggs asks, Z, where do you buy your RC stuff from? Mr. Diggs, this was a big haul that we bought in. We've had 2 hauls actually. Both of them have been like clearance type situations. The second haul came from the first haul, so you know, one thing often what you'll find is if you find something like this, you can build contacts. So we basically found a company that was clearing out a bunch of old Model Zone stock. So if you remember, there used to be a high street brand called Model Zone that was bought out by WH Smith, and a lot of people thought a lot of this stuff had already been sold off when they originally went bust, but there was a stash of it. This company had an absolute stash of it. We bought the whole lot. We went down south, we drove for hours, rented a massive van, and we did that. So we have sold so much of it, and it's been brilliant. And then the second deal kind of came from that. You know, once you kind of get into these things, you'll notice it's like the law of attraction. When you look for something, you tend to find it. So you know, RC is something I enjoy messing with, so it makes a lot of sense. Karen has joined us as well. I'm not being disgusting. I'm not, and I wasn't talking about bashing one out. I was talking about bashing RCs. Karen, don't listen to Lisa. She's misleading you. So right. So £30. How do you like them apples, says Ryan. Yeah, still happy to get £30 for these photographs that I was showing you guys. So these photographs, so like I said, 30 quid for 3. So let's get rid of those. And on to another RC car, guys. So another RC car. This is a Losi. So Losi is a brand to look out for. They're owned by Horizon Hobby. They're a very popular brand, and they make cars. They make cars going down into all sizes. They make cars which are like tiny 1/24 scale cars which are about that big, and they'll make cars which go like 1/5 scale, which are huge. This is a 1/10 scale car, which is one of the most popular sizes. So Losi 10MT is the name, and it's a 1/10 scale car. 4-wheel drive, that's what that means. 4WDs, 4-wheel drive. What that means is power is delivered to both the front and rear axles. So it's a 4-wheel drive car, so power, it's got you know, differentials at the front and the back, and it's got a center transmission. So this is the car itself. This is a Losi 10MT. Really fun car. This is a lot of fun, this thing. It takes off like a rocket. Absolute beast of a car. And again, I'll show you you know, the basics. So when you're looking at an RC car, you've got to make sure it's got a motor, which is that big red thing. They'll come in all different colors, but it'll look like some kind of a small can. And then you've got to make sure you've got an ESC, which is an electronic speed controller. You'll notice it because it'll have a bunch of wires coming out from it. Then you'll need to make sure it's got a servo, which is what moves the steering. And then in this plastic box there is a receiver, and the receiver is what which is what receives the signal sent by this thing, which is the transmitter. So the 10MT question, 10MT, you said you were keeping this, as Ryan. I am keeping one. I've got a 10MT down there which I'm gonna keep for myself, but this is one that I sold. But you can see boxed up there, and I actually took $250 plus shipping for this, so $250 for this one. So I was pretty pleased with that sale. Anne Isaac has joined us as well. Hi Anne. Right, to do this weekend is dire, 0 sale since Friday, says Karen. It can be up and down, it really can be. Our weekend's not been too bad, but yeah, we've had a pretty slow last week of Feb, so you do get ups and downs. Here's another RC part, guys. this is quite a popular one for us. You can see I run promotions on our RC parts, buy one get one at 25% off, just to encourage people to buy more, and it works, because we've got so much of this stuff that we're quite happy to do deals on it, because we're in a lot of profit on this already. As we shared the other day, I think we invested £3,600 into this stuff. We've turned over well over 11,000, and that's not including all the shipping and stuff. So we've really done well out of this, and there's still plenty to go. So really pleased with this stuff. This is a front rear drive CVA for an MTA4 monster truck. So Thunder Tiger made a really popular monster truck called the MTA4, and this is a piece that it connects the drivetrain to the center transmission. So it connects it to the engine kind of setup basically. So that goes from the center transmission to the rear or the front diff. And it's held in by like a little pin and a grub screw, and as you can see, we have sold 22 of these so far, varying prices, because at the moment we're asking $12.78, so that's sold for like $12.78 plus shipping. So nice easy sale, just goes in a large letter envelope, and bam, job's a good one. Claire and Lee Resell says, not caught alive before. Hi Claire and Lee, how are you? Or is it Leah? Please tell me how to pronounce it. She said Lee, like it's Leah, isn't it? It's probably Leah, I don't know, but yeah, let me know, Claire and Leah. I think I'll say Leah, I don't know. Okay, right, I assume the two people who down thumbed are upset that Z has taken their passion spot. Oh gosh, I don't know, Darren, I don't know, maybe. Anne says, hoping my other half will get into selling RC, just need to find something that interests him to sell, and he's well into full-size classic cars, so this might be a good read across area for him. Definitely, Anne. I think different people work in different ways, and I found I'm so much more productive. I thought I'd be distracted, because I'm easily distracted. I get really easily, my mind can wander so easy. I'm not as focused as Rebecca, for example, but I found that selling this RC stuff, I'm like laser focused. I'm not nearly as bad as I thought I would be. I think I was a lot easier to procrastinate and distract myself when I was listing things that I wasn't particularly fussed by or enamored by. This RC stuff, because I enjoy it so much, I'm keen to list it. Like, Beck brings me down like 20 parts and they're listed straight away. So it really doesn't fuss me. I love listing it, and I think some people do work better when just work better when they are like doing something that they enjoy. Karen says, you distract Z, shock horror. Well, I found that I'm not that bad when it comes to dealing with these parts. Okay guys, let's just tick along to the next item. This is another RC part. This is a Thunder Tiger AN 2030 cylinder and piston for a Pro 18 engine. You can see we've sold 2 of these as $24.99. I believe these actually sold during a markdown, so they sold for like £21 odd. And this is a cylinder and piston, so this goes inside of a nitro engine. So nitro engines are basically like small engines that run on nitro fuel. They're not quite as popular as electric is nowadays, but there are a lot of purists out there that have nitro. I've got a nitro truck. I'm not a purist, but I'm just saying there are people that love nitro. They love the smell of and the noise and the sound that a nitro engine makes. But the engines obviously do go through a rough time because they're running at really crazy high RPMs, and sometimes people have to like rebuild the engine. So this is the inside. Now you would have thought this would have taken ages to sell, but these things do tick over. I've got different variety of them, but this particular one went for like, I think it was like 21 something in a sale, and we can see we've sold 2 of them. Both of them actually went abroad, so pretty pleased with that. Darren says selling what you love makes a huge difference. Yes, Darren, I know you absolutely love what you sell, and you've picked up some amazing things. I'm actually jealous of the Technodrome from the Turtles. I think that is the most epic thing I've seen in ages. Dan says, loving all the innuendo in the chat, like an episode of Are You Being Served in here. This is what our chats tend to be like. If you ever catch our Friday chat, I know it's not great for you in terms of time. Yeah, our chats are very much like this. They just, I don't know how it happens, but it happens. If you want another chat for innuendo, I highly suggest you check out ads. If you haven't, ads' chats are epic for that as well. They're amazing for that. Moving on, this is a cool sell. So this is actually something that that I can touch on from earlier on in the video. This is something I can touch on from earlier in the video, where I shared the sale of the DCC tape when I talked about pre-recordings on defunct formats that weren't popular. So what I mean by that is, the movies or music that was released on a format that didn't end up taking off. No point in you finding a Dame Edna cassette or VHS tape. It probably won't be a lot. I mean, for all I know, it might be worth a lot. I've not researched it, but I'm guessing the chances are it won't be worth a great deal. Okay. But this is the Dame Edna, like Barry McKenzie holds his own Dame Edna Everage on video 8 tape. Now, I just listed it. Well, Beck actually listed these ones back in the day, and I did not think, you don't really have a price guide, because some people were underselling this stuff, and this sold, as you can see, for £29.78, which is fantastic. Lisa says the chats are led by Zahir. Don't blame us, Z. It's all your fault. Oh gosh, you guys are just picking up on everything I say now. There's no way I can escape it. The chat has turned into carry on reselling. Yes, yeah. Z is touching things now. Z, stop touching it. You will go blind. I don't have hairy palms, so that's something. So I know I won't go blind just yet. I'm good for now. Okay. Let's move on to the next item. This is another RC. I've actually got one of these here still. Hold on. So again, this is by Losi. So this is what it looks like in the box. This one this is actually the one in the photos. So this is what I'm trying to sell now, but I sold one without the box. So you can see it's like a small 1/24 scale car. Even though it's so small, even though it's such a small car, 1/24 scale, it's 4-wheel drive, which is insane. It's brushless. Now, these are buzzwords that you'll do well if you want to get into RC, if you want to get into selling RC. Peter Ray says the Benny Hill of reselling. Thanks, Pete. So if you want to get into RC, there's certain terms that you need to become familiar with, right? And brushless is definitely one of them. Lipos, these things you need to know about. All-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, etc. So this, even though it's a small car, it's very fully featured. So it's 4-wheel drive. It uses a brushless motor. It's got a lipo battery. Has a full range 2.4 gigahertz transmitter, the works basically, and this is quite a popular model. I've actually got quite a few people watching this. I didn't sell two, I've only sold one, but one sale got cancelled, so it still counts it as two, which is messy. But that I've only sold one, and I've got one left, and I'm asking for well, I actually sold one for £100 plus shipping. That was without a box, and I've got one now for which is I think on a sale at the moment at £107 plus shipping, so hopefully that will sell at some point as well. Right, let's just move along. what have we got going on here? We have now got let's have a look. Ooh, let's have a look. Another rocket. This time it's the Ariane 5G with a launch pad. So similar to the previous rocket, a 1/400 scale rocket. And you can see we've sold 5 of these and we've still got 4 available. And this one sold for 20 quid. So pretty happy. And something that's different from the norm. We're getting near the end of the 20 items, guys. So thank you for sticking with me for so long. It's been 45 minutes already. Wow, it's a long sales video. This is Crash Team Racing CTR on the Sony PlayStation 1 Black Label. It didn't have its user manual. I paid £1.50 at a local, local-ish charity shop. Was in Preston, so it wasn't that local. But there we go. And it sold for 20 quid plus shipping to France, which I think was like £8.99. So that was cool. Moving on. Now this has been one of our big successes amongst the RC parts. This is a Thunder Tiger PN0236 starting wheel cover set. So again, this is to do with the engine on a nitro car, and you yank this, guys. You yank that pull starter, but you have to be gentle with it and you have to give it a nice tug, but don't tug it too hard. You got to tug it gently, and yeah, a nice smooth motion, you know, like a smooth motion like that. And I'm asking for this, I know, but anyway, once you do that, the engine will start up. So often what happens is sometimes engines seize up, like people get too much fuel into the engine and the engine seizes up. Now rather than removing the glow plug and letting the excess fuel out of the engine, so you can actually get it running, people just get mad and just start really, you know, pulling hard at the pull starter. And often what will happen is the pull starter cord will just snap, and that's when they will come to eBay. And as you can see, we've sold 27 of these, which is fantastic, and you know, often for 27.78, sometimes for a bit less, but £20 plus. Yes. Dude, doesn't matter if you yank a millimeter or an inch, yanking's yanking. Yeah, a lot of innuendos today for sure, guys. Oh gosh. What do you do with a glow plug? Asked Jay Dennis. I'm not reading that out fully. But anyway, Darren asked, do bashers and tuggers mix, or is it like Star Wars and Star Trek rivalry? Tuggers aren't really a thing, Darren. I mean, you know, yankers, whatever. Anyway, let's move along. All right, this is a model kit. So this was again part of the haul, and let's have a look at this. This is a SH3D Sea King. Bobby Billington says, could you have a word with my wifey and maybe a presentation? Oh god, this chat is just you guys, man. I've got to say I probably don't help, but anyway, this is a SH3D Sea King RC. It's not RC, it's a model kit. It's not an RC, it's a model kit. So like, there's a plastic kit which you put together and paint and whatnot. These have been surprisingly slow to sell, for me anyway. I found that these haven't sold as quickly as I thought they would. They every now and then a nice sale pops up, and I'm like, okay, really pleased with it, and that's what's happened here. This is sold for £25.49, free shipping. Really happy. These don't really owe us anything now at this point. I'm actually starting to auction some of these off, and I'm going to be doing bundles going forward and auctioning like bundles of 5 off just to get rid of them. So let's move on to the final item, guys. Oh, is Rebecca getting sympathy from the chat? This is what happens when he's left the stream on his own. Oh gosh. Alright. And Ryan says these are softcore compared to our 2am chats. Okay, guys. The final item, guys. Here we go. This is a pretty good sale. This is a Losi LST XXL2. I have shared this. It is this is a monster of an RC. It is a electric 1/8 scale. So 1/8 scale is like the second to largest pretty much, so it tends to go 110, 1/8, then 1/5, or sometimes 1/6, but mostly 1/5 scale. So 1/8 scale trucks are quite big, they're quite large, they're quite bulky. They take up a lot of room, they need a lot of room to run, and especially when like these things are so like fast and powerful. I'm grinning because I just saw Ryan said, what happened to the Iron Man bundle? Yeah, I took it down, right? I decided against it. Yeah, I decided against selling them as a bundle. I thought, no, I was having one of my fits where I wanted to get rid of stuff, and I was like, no. Anyway, so this is the XXL2 electric. It is this one you had to add a part to? Asked Darren. I did have to, yes, I had to rebuild the slipper clutch. So there we go. This is the truck. It's beautiful. Let me actually get rid of my face from the chat so you can see. Beautiful truck, absolutely gorgeous truck. Let's look at it. It's a beast. Amazingly cool body shell. Aluminium chassis. You've got like a heat sink on the motor. There's the slipper clutch where I'm just mousing over there. That's the slipper clutch assembly. Slipper clutch and pinion assembly. Gosh, I can't even speak. There's the ESC that's got a fan on it. There's a space for the 2 lipos that this thing can run. And it is a beast of a car. It's got a wheelie bar there because it will wheelie on command pretty much. This thing is a beast of a truck. Absolutely love it. I have got another one to sell. Again, we've not sold 2 of these. We've only sold the one. And it says 2 because we had a sale that was unfortunately cancelled. So that was it. All right, let's just go to full screen. This video is a cross between Benny Hill and reselling and Life of Brian. Z, so you have a big fast one for bashing, tugging, or whatever in the woods. I've got a variety now, Jay Dennis. Thank you for asking. Right. Can Curly Chloe says, can anyone recommend a good mic? It's for my son who's a gamer and asked me to get him a mic, not a headset one. There's various ones. The popular one, it depends if he's gaming on PC or a console or whatever, but if he's gaming on PC, I think there's like Blue Snowball and Blue Yeti and whatever. I mean, there's loads of options available, really. Zeh can't even speak. Zeh, I'm shocked you can still see. Well, guys, that was the last of the items I had to share. So that was like the top 20, top 20-ish kind of like sales from February. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I enjoyed sharing the items with you, and like hopefully you got a bit of RC knowledge there as well. Do a search on bashing videos, on YouTube. Don't do it on any other website because you might come across something else. But on YouTube, if you type in RC bashing, you will get an idea of what it is, in more detail. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you everybody for joining me. How many people have we got in here? Right, we've got about 60 people watching, is that right? So thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you for the chat. It was fantastic. I will see you guys later. Obviously Nick and Andrea are going to be live tonight, their usual slot. This quick update turned into 50+ minutes thanks to Z Smart. At that point, I am going to say goodbye. I hope you have a great weekend, and we will see you in the next video. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to stop this now. Bye guys.